Hey everyone, welcome to D&D Fuzzy Tales. I'm Machina. Today's story is from Anon Rando 241, about a DM who made so many simple mistakes OP had to cut ties with his group. I had been gaming with this group off and on for about 3 years. They were the only group I knew in my area that still played D&D 3.5e, and they were really knowledgeable. I came back after a hiatus because my schedule opened back up and made a 5th level kobold rogue. We had 3 mediocre sessions, but this weekend was the literal worst game of my entire TTRPG career. Here are some highlights from the 4th and final session. The first and only locked door I come across has an absurd number of traps, and I was told that they were beyond my abilities, so any attempt would be futile. We had to be saved by a DM ex machina, as it was our only way forward. Our horses were gravely injured because we did not expressly state that we would be standing guard over them. Multiple times the DM would interrupt only me to one-up a joke I hadn't even finished. The DM retconned my backstory so that my being in the party was an accident, and I was not part of the prophecy's destiny warriors like the rest of the party. The DM locked everyone but his favorite PC, pet PC, out of an RP encounter by process of elimination on our collective spoken languages, and an otherwise impossible decipher script skill check. The DM would not allow us to converse among ourselves regarding possible mystery solutions, and shut down theories as they were spoken, thereby giving us metagame knowledge. Even with my character's highest stealth achievement to date, the zombies could still sense my PC's life energy and move toward their location. Even with my character's maxed out use magic device skill and a natural 20 roll, the evil magic altar does not turn off and they took permanent damage. The dungeon's end boss was a naked furry waifu insert kitsune with no written stats. Bonuses, AC, saves, attacks, and skills were arbitrary based on the DM's whims. DM confirmed this upon inquiry. When I pointed out established thresholds for certain skills found in tables in the player's handbook, I was successful in disabling the evil altar but afflicted with permanent nymphomania, despite being a 10-year-old for interacting with Mary Sue Fox magic. The deactivated altar did not make any noticeable change in the boss's abilities. After tracking damage and abilities, the party betrayed the challenge rating to be at least twice as high as our party's average level, though we received experience and loot equivalent to a much easier fight. Sensing the table had caught onto their shenanigans, the first form went down, the second form had full health, impossible touch AC, 3 grapple checks a turn, and a main attack, even while under the effects of a slow spell. The slow spell only succeeded because the pet PC had cast it. The spell resistance ability that had been present for another player's spell attack was ignored, and not mentioned during the pet PC's attack within the same turn and boss form. Our NPC escort ward turned out to be another Fox waifu NPC insert, but this one was at 20th level and had been holding back during the fight. This was despite creative and normally uncompromisable power detection methods being used. The revealed ultimate trickster proceeded to give us our first reward in 2 sessions of resource-draining, back-to-back encounters, only to turn around and offer to sell us plot-relevant information, of which we had none. We could not progress unless we handed our hard-earned loot back to them. The DM had not bothered to name their bad guy organization, their leader, the country in which they operated, or their exact motivation, but made references to all of the aforementioned somehow. The result was an overly generic villain group that flip-flopped between Shadow Society and Invading Army. The DM established a mechanic of permanent stats-changing buffs in the form of colorful candies. This would entail a new skill literally called the Universe, and an arbitrary D100 roll wherein the DM would then change your character's appearance, behavior, and mechanics to suit his vision. The first implementation was to make the 15-year-old fighter more virile. When my character stated that they did not want to interact with this new form of DM interference and made efforts to actively resist and distance themselves, the ultimate trickster forcibly applied a candy effect to ruin any and all playability of the build. I do not feel comfortable in clarifying what the specifics of this alteration was. Suffice to say, it was the last straw. When I confronted him in private the next day regarding my discomfort with fudging, favoritism, and furry insert, he attributed it to an ability to pick up on social cues. I stated I would not return. After the session ended, I talked with some of the other players and they agreed with me, but not enough to justify leaving. I really will miss them. I believe they may only be staying because they know of no other local group that plays their favorite game. However, I will not about sacrifice my rights as a player or my mental health for a pastime, and I hope they'll reach the same conclusion as well. TLDR. DM fudges roles, expresses overt favoritism, minimizes specific PC's interactions, and tops the session off with 2 overpowered and over-sexualized naked anthrofoxes. I feel sorry for OP to have been forced to leave their friends behind. It really seems like that dungeon master did all the sins typical of the worst dungeon masters out there. I really hope OP has found a better group and a better DM. Either way, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.